Tiger's name? I'm so disappointed. Shere Khan. Remember he chased Mowgli out of the woods? Yeah. Well, Shere Khan can't see the book with his eyes, and so he has to take this off. So give me just a second, and I'll see if it comes off. Okay, you ready? All right. There it went. Woo! Mr. Brown, huh? Who said Mr. Brown? That's right. Now, Shere Khan is my buddy. He sits and watches to see who the best audience member is. So we'll see what he says to me after we read our books. How about that? Is that? You think so? All right. So we're going to read a couple of books today. And I do have a little microphone on. You saw that, didn't you? Yeah.
Me too.
So we're going to see if you guys can listen, because I know you're going to be a really good audience. And that means the audience sits. They don't talk while the book's being read, and they listen. So just in case we have questions at the end, you can answer them, okay? In just a second, okay? In just a second. All right. So this book, how many of you guys have ever heard the story? You've heard this story? Well, you just read it? Okay. That one's out. I got you. No. We're going to come up with another one. This is what you call, that's a big bad too. I think there was a pig theme from our ladies up front. Let's see. What's this here? Let's go with these two books. This one is really becoming one of my... Well, you know what? I'm so glad to hear that you guys read a lot. That's fantastic, okay? But let me tell you about why I like this book. Let me tell you why I like this book. Because you guys do a lot of art here in this school. And this really kind of gives you an idea that everything you do, somehow you got to find a way to find the beauty in it. And that's what this is about. So let's read this little book, okay? Oh, my audience. Goodness gracious. I love a quiet, listening audience. Yeah, there we go. That's so much better. It's just music to my ears. The quiet. Oh, there it goes again. This book is called Ish. Say that with me. Ish. Okay. Ramon loved to draw. How many love to draw? Raise your hand. Oh, so do I. Love to draw. Wow. Maybe this is about him. Let's see. One day, Ramon was drawing a vase of flowers. His brother Leon leaned over his shoulder. Leon burst out laughing. "What is that?" he asked. Just like a big brother to do something like that, huh? Ramon could not even answer. He just crumpled up the drawing and threw it across the room. Leon's laughter haunted Ramon. He kept trying to make his drawings look right, but they never did. Look at all these crumpled papers. After many months and many crumpled sheets of paper, Ramon put his pencil down. I'm done. No more drawing for Ramon. Hold on. Marisol, his sister, was watching him. "What do you want?" he snapped. "I was watching you draw," she said. Ramon sneered. "I'm not drawing. Go away." Marisol ran away, but not before picking up a crumpled sheet of paper. "Hey, come back here with that." Ramon raced after Marisol up the hall and into her room. Let's see what sister was doing. He was about to yell, but fell silent when he saw his sister's walls. He stared at the crumpled gallery. What is all that on the wall? It's all of those pieces that he wadded up and threw away because he didn't like them. She did something with them, didn't she? She's looking at this one right here. What was the first thing he was drawing? Do you remember?
That one. A vase.
A vase of flowers, that's right. This is one of my favorites, Marisol said, pointing. That was supposed to be a vase of flowers, Ramon said. It doesn't look like one. Well, it looks vase-ish, she exclaimed. Vase-ish? Ramon looked closer. Then he studied all the drawings on Marisol's walls and began to see them in a whole new way. They do look ish, he said. They do look ish. Let's see what he does with that. Ramon felt light and energized. Thinking ishly allowed his ideas to flow freely. He began to draw what he felt. Loose lines quickly springing out without worry. Look at all the stuff he's drawing. It's everywhere, isn't it? Yeah. Ramon once again drew and drew the world around him. Making an ish drawing felt wonderful. He filled his journals. Tree-ish, house-ish, boat-ish, afternoon-ish, fish-ish, sun-ish. See all of his drawings? They didn't have to look exactly. They just had to look ish, right? Ramon realized he could draw ish feelings too. Peace-ish, silly-ish, excited-ish. His ish art inspired ish writing. He wasn't sure if he was writing poems, but he knew they were poem-ish.
What does ish mean?
They're real close to being exactly what he thought it was going to be. One spring morning, Ramon had a wonderful feeling. It was a feeling that even ish words and ish drawings could not capture. He decided not to capture it. Instead, he simply savored it. What do you think he's looking at?
The sun.
It is the sun. Is it the sunrise or is it the sunset?
Sunset.
You think it's sunset?
Sunrise.
Could be either one, couldn't it? Yeah, we'd have to figure out what way he was sitting. And Ramon lived happily-ish ever after. So all of those things, you guys have a lot of drawings outside. So you start off drawing something that you see in your mind, and then all of a sudden it really doesn't look like what you thought it was going to, or it doesn't look like the picture the teacher said to draw. But something about your drawing does look like that drawing kind of ish, doesn't it? So you have to think about it like that, and that's what Ramon did. I love that little book. That's a good one. Let's read this one. This one's called, have you read this one?
Yes. No. I have read the Ramon one.
You're like a little overachiever, aren't you? You just read everything. Good for you. That's awesome. Good for
I
you.
read the Ramon one.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's try this one. This is one I've never read, so let's see if I can read this one, okay? This one's called Sky Color, okay? This one's probably going to be art related as well. Oh, it's got Marisol in it again. Marisol was an artist. She loved to draw and paint. And she even had her very own art gallery. How many of you guys have an art gallery like that on the refrigerator? Yeah. My kids did too. All right, listen. Not all her art hung in a gallery. Much of it she shared with the world. She painted posters to share the ideas she believed in. At school, Marisol was famous for her creative clothes, her box of art supplies, and her belief that everybody was an artist. Everyone was an artist. Yes, Marisol was an artist through and through. So when her teacher told the class they were going to paint a mural for the library, Marisol couldn't wait for it to begin. What's a mural? Does anybody know? Okay, when you walk, I don't know if you guys have murals in this school, but sometimes you'll have a wall that's just one color. It's all white. And then somebody comes in and they draw a beautiful rainbow and water and someone fishing. That's called a mural. It's just a painting that's kind of... Oh, she wants to do a mural. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. You could. She probably has a good idea what she would draw too. The classroom buzzed with the sound of brainstorming. The students talked and sketched. Together, they made a great big drawing. Then they marched to the library. I'll paint a fish. I'll paint one too. I'll paint the ocean, Marisol shouted. I'll paint the sky. So they all had great ideas about what the mural was going to look like. Hold on. Marisol rummaged through the box of paint, but could not find any blue. How am I going to make the sky without blue paint? That's a good idea. Let's see if she thinks of that. The bell rang. It was time to put their brushes down for the day. As she climbed aboard the bus, Marisol kept wondering. All the way home, she stared out the window. She's thinking about something, isn't she?
Yeah.
The sun lowered closer to the horizon. That's a great question. She had a long ride, didn't she? Oh my God, am I ever going to get home? The sun's going down. That's a great question. I love that. Later at home, Marisol watched day turn into night. What's she looking at, though? Remember?
The sky.
That's right. That night, Marisol settled into a deep dream. Let's see what she dreams about. She drifted through a sky swirling with colors. The colors mixed, making too many to count. In the morning, Marisol stood waiting for the bus in the rain. The sky was not blue, but she smiled. In the rain, waiting on the bus. At school, Marisol raced to the library. She grabbed a dish and began adding many colors. This one, that one. She swirled the brush to make them all together a new color. Let's see what she comes up with. She had lots of things to look at and a long time on the bus. Marisol then began painting on the wall. A boy asked, "What color is that?" "That," Marisol said, "that is sky color." They're making us wait to see what the color is. Let's see what she came up with. You ready?
Blue.
Lots and lots of colors.
Rainbow.
That's pretty cool. So she came up with sky color. So she started off with blue, but she didn't end up with blue, did she? No, she didn't. She ended up with lots of color. Well, you know what? Someone else probably painted the waves and the fish because she was only painting the sky, wasn't she? Yeah, the other kids painted the fish. The water is blue. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. How's the water blue? Haven't you read a book about that yet? We need to get you a book on why the water is blue. Oh, you know what? That's a great question because she couldn't find the blue. You guys are so smart. Long bus rides, standing in the rain, and where did we come up with blue paint? That's exactly right. Yeah.
She had to mix some color.
You think so? Yeah.
Or someone probably had the paint.
Or someone probably had the blue and they just didn't want to show it to anyone. They wanted to see how creative they could be. That's a good thought too. Yeah. What was your question? You had your hand up.
They had, if you want to make the sky, then you have to look out the window. Which color's the sky?
That's true. And she did that, remember, on the ride home? But what happens to the sky as the sun's going down at night? Is it always blue? It's not, is it?
It's all colors.
It's lots of colors, isn't it?
At night it's dark blue.
At night it might be dark blue. It's hard to tell at night though because it's getting so dark and it's hard to see,
So
isn't
it's
it? Yeah.
black. Sometimes the dark is usually dark blue or black or kind of blackish gray.
Yeah, blackish gray. Yeah. And when you're wet, sometimes it is pink. That's right, as the sun's going down. And if you get way, way, way far away from the city where all the lights are and there's no light out, you can really see how bright the stars are too. That's the best time to look at them too. Last question right here.
Sometimes the sunset's red.
Sometimes it is red. That's right. Those are beautiful sunsets. Well, you guys were awesome. And I just, really hate that I brought in a book that you had already read multiple times, but that's fantastic. I'm glad you read that book as well. So thank you for letting me read. So according to, what's his name? You can't remember his name? Poor guy. What are we going to call him? Tiger? Shere Khan. Shere Khan.
Kipling's a little bit above our
It is. I know. That's true. Shere Khan says that everyone was a great audience member. That's pretty awesome. You guys did a really good job.
We need to tell Mr. Raines.
Marry me or marry Shere Khan? Oh, wear him. You better not wear him because I borrowed it from somebody and they may say, whose head has been in my mask? Only mine. Sorry. You guys were awesome. Thank you for letting me read to you. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day.